I'm happy to have a panel here today about citizen media. We have Suzanne McBride, who is actually one of JLive's grantees. She's the founder of a project called Chicago Taunts.
Hi, thanks for coming. I agree with everything Jan said, and now I'm going to tell you what really happens on the ground. Basically, how we started was we were concerned, and had been for a number of years, that in the Chicago area, although we have a very robust competitive media environment, the two main newspapers, the Chicago Tribune and the Sun-Times, were not actively in many of our 70-some neighborhoods. In fact, if you go back and look and see what kind of stories were covered on a lot of these neighborhoods, particularly on the south and west side, particularly minority, underserved communities, they would come in and do a great job on that triple homicide, or when the E2 nightclub had that stampede, they were all over that story. But the next week when there was a local school council meeting and people really upset about the principal that had just been hired, nothing. And primarily the people who cover these neighborhoods are students who live and or work in these neighborhoods. When we launched in late February 2007, this is what the site looked like. Now, for any of you who are far more graphic and visually oriented than I am, and I'm definitely an old-fashioned words person, I know this isn't pretty. No surprise, audio and video is huge. We had a student review some local artist with a new music album, and there were, I don't know, I can't remember how many hundreds of hits within just a day's period of time. And that was because it had audio. You could go listen to some of the music. And she also did a really good job of sending a link with the story to some of her friends and some listservs. And increasingly we are trying to get anyone who looks at the site to feel free to share the stuff, have a Facebook, LinkedIn, MySpace connection, send things that way. I hardly ever, hopefully, will have stories on my site that you will have seen anywhere else. Okay, I want to do stories that no one else is going to see. And I think that's really critical if you want to actually build community and also build an audience. So we really try to pick projects that no one else has done, isn't going to do, and things that have nice multimedia elements so that anyone can go and access that. I would love in every media market where people think they're underserved to actually have a network of sites like this, maybe working initially with colleges and universities in the area to get some of that constant content going. Thank you.